parents or the experts just call out the name and then we'll just kind of take the show on. Yes, anyone? Yes, ma'am.
मैं फरीदाबाद से आई हूँ. माई सेल्फ इज़ जोशू जैन. मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि अगर कोई स्कूल डिसलेक्सिया बच्चे को सपोर्ट नहीं करता है तो हम क्या लीगल एक्शन ले सकते हैं उसके खिलाफ?
देखिए, एक्सपीरियंस से मैं आपको ये कह सकती हूँ कि लीगल एक्शन से ज़्यादा आप न्यूसेंस एक्शन ले सकते हैं. सो आई नो मेनी पेरेंट्स. देयर इज़ वन मदर गुड़गांव में जिसके बच्चे को मल्टीपल डिसेबिलिटीज़ हैं, इंक्लूडिंग द फैक्ट दैट द चाइल्ड कांट रीड प्रॉपर्ली इन टर्म्स ऑफ उसकी आईसाइट में प्रॉब्लम है, उसकी मूवमेंट में प्रॉब्लम है, एंड शी एक्चुअली हैज़ डेवलप्ड द सिस्टम ऑफ द कलर बोर्ड टू अ फाइन आर्ट. तो जब पता चला कि इसके बच्चे को ये सब प्रॉब्लम्स हो गई हैं, तो स्कूल वांटेड टू ऑब्वियसली remove the child, and this mother sat in the child's class for 5 years and forced the school कि आपको मेरे बच्चे को एक एजुकेशन देनी ही पड़ेगी. मैं सुनने को तैयार ही नहीं हूँ. मैं इस बच्चे को यहाँ से नहीं निकालने वाली. मैं घर नहीं लेके जाऊँ. मैं रोज़ सुबह उसको स्कूल लेकर आऊँगी और जितना मैं हेल्प कर सकती हूँ मैं करूँगी. उसका बच्चा आज 9th स्टैंडर्ड में है और 5 साल के बाद उसने अपना नेक्स्ट स्टेप लिया. उसने कहा 5 साल तक मैंने आपको बहुत मदद कर दी है, बहुत हैंड होल्ड कर दिया है. बच्चे को पढ़ाना आपका काम है, मेरा काम नहीं है. तो 5 साल तक तो मैं आती रही हूँ, अब नहीं आऊँगी. मैं अब अपना काम करूँगी. मेरा काम 5 साल से सफ़र कर रहा है. आप मेरे बच्चे को पढ़ाएंगे. और एक छोटा सा स्कूल है गुड़गांव में. मैंने कभी नाम भी नहीं सुना था उसका, लेकिन उसका बच्चा वहाँ पढ़ रहा है और उसका बच्चा वहाँ पर अच्छे से पढ़ रहा है. ही इज़ अ ब्राइट चाइल्ड. तो आपको लीगल एक्शन, आप कोर्ट्स में भागेंगी, उससे अच्छा ये है कि आप स्कूल के साथ एंगेज करेंगी तो बेटर रहेगा.
You could also approach certain nodal agencies like the National Commission for Child Protection and the Delhi Commission for Child Protection. They often are known to take immediate action. You can also go to CBSE and they have cells there who will respond to it. So you can write, letters to these organizations, take the case to them.
Actually, we have searched on the net and we have come from the Sparsh. जो उन्होंने ऑर्किड का हमें सजेशन दिया था. हमारे पास कोई नॉलेज नहीं है अभी भी, और कुछ भी नहीं है. फरीदाबाद में स्कूल DPS है, मॉडर्न विद्या निकेतन है, ये सारे स्कूल्स बहुत अच्छे स्कूल्स हैं.
तो आप फरीदाबाद की बात कर रहे हैं, तो नेशनल कमीशन फॉर चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन में जाएंगे तो दे विल कवर दैट रीजन आल्सो, नॉट द दिल्ली वन.
ओके,
राइट.
Look, CBS, if the school, any school is accredited to CBSE और वो आपको ऐसे हैरेस कर रहे हैं, तो आप उनको या तो आप लाइक डॉक्टर सेन सेड, यू गो ऑन द CBSE लिंक, राइट. वहाँ पे टू द चेयरपर्सन देयर इज अ लिंक ऑन द राइट साइड ऊपर. यू राइट टू हिम.
ओके.
दे आर नोन टू टेक एक्शन. और यू टेल द स्कूल दैट गिव इट टू मी इन राइटिंग. सॉरी टू से, गिव इट टू मी इन राइटिंग that you want me to take out my child because he has a disability. They will never do it.
Okay, thank you ma'am.
They will never do it because वो करेंगे तो उनकी accreditation निकल जाएगी ना.
I want to know how do I figure out where my child's real strength lies. I mean, he's very bright in certain places and very lost in other places, but I don't know how do I figure that out. Strength, passion. How do I this thing?
How old is the child?
He's 16 years old.
He's 16?
Yeah.
Then this little assessment exercise would greatly help. You could even assist him in doing it. We could assist him. It's a fun test.
Okay.
So it's no preparation is required.
Where do I get this test?
All you have to do is send a blank email to testcaring@gmail.com. I'll give that to you at the end of this. I'll just make you write that down and it'll automatically pop into your inbox.
It's like a home test.
It's like a home test, absolutely. No, it doesn't have to be done in a guarded situation or guided situation.
Okay.
And that plus your observation of the child. I mean, over the period of years, the child has...
children, as they are, they fluctuate. Sometimes sports, sometimes music. He's like very fluctuating.
But you know what? overall you know what the child just doesn't want to do. So even all these inputs, when we sit down together and you tell me what the child enjoys doing and loves doing and what does he do when he's not studying, whether he's outgoing or sticks to himself or whatever, and so all this assessment plus the eye-opener test assessment together makes for a very fairly accurate projection.
Ma'am, what are you doing? Are you a career person?
Who, me?
No.
No.
Yeah. I'm asking. I'm asking the person who asked the question.
Who, me?
Are you a career person? Do you have a career? टीचर थे पहले, अब नहीं है. तो जब आप 16 साल की थी आपने डिसाइड कर लिया था कि आप टीचर बनेंगे? आपने डिसाइड कर लिया था? हाँ.
वो तो गलत था.
I think you wanted to ask me that question. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Please.
I'm not looking for career options, but I'm looking for strength and passion. I want him to be passionate about something.
But something, this passion is a very widely...
It's overused. Please, it's overused.
Really, passion तो 40 years के उम्र में भी बहुत, अगर आपको मिल जाए तो बहुत.
And I want to share a little story with you about my own children. I thought, kids shouldn't be made into performing monkeys. So I felt कि one class to another class, I'm not going to do this to my children. I'm just going to let them go to school and do whatever they want to do. And my children turned around to me and they said, "You're a very strange parent. Most of our friends, their parents are so worried about them. They take them to swimming and tennis and singing and dancing. आप तो कुछ नहीं करते हो, आप घर में छोड़ देते हो. What is this? Please हमको कुछ classes में डालो." Right? So my point is, and every single one of their friends would come to our home and say, "You have such great parents, यार, वो तुमको कभी force नहीं करते कुछ भी करने को." My issue is whatever you do, it's all wrong.
Yes.
And it's all right to be all wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perhaps I'll take a slightly different perspective on this, yeah. And because we do see this repeatedly in children who are differently abled, if you like to call it, or learn differently, is the fact that their stories, their narratives in lives become problem saturated, which means from morning till evening, all we are talking about is what they cannot do very well. So they're being carted from a special educator to tutor to right from the morning to the evening. This is the worry. It's ambient. It's floating in the air. It's always there, right? Therefore, it becomes vital for such children to begin to connect to certain things within them, which is their interest or their strength, right? And that, of course, is there are various ways of finding it out. But if you are not able to turn it around, upside down and say, we're not going to look at what you need to be good at. We're going to see what you feel, what do you have fun with, for instance, yeah? And here again, there are two aspects to this. One is the interest and one is the strength. And sometimes they don't overlap. So a child who has dyspraxia might be passionate about football, but the same kid who is wonderful in singing, let's say, is not interested in that. So again, a part of the journey would be to figure out where the overlaps are between the strength and the interest, between the asset and the affinity, as they say. And when you can dovetail that, you are a winning win-win situation. It's important to do that, particularly with kids who have had a very rough journey along with you. And I can understand that, yeah?
So let's start now one day at a time. Let's first take the test and see, and we'll go on from there. Okay. Next, anyone else?
Should I start?
Here. Okay, the mic's here
Okay.
also. We'll
Hi,
get to everyone. Hanji.
This is actually for Parveen Malhotra. I work with slum children, or children from the slums, and so for them also career counseling and
More important.
Yeah, but do we bring them to you, or can you come to us?
I can come to you. You don't have to bring
Okay.
all of them to me. You can
Okay,
tell
'cause
me
I have-
where, and we could work out a way by
Okay,
which I could
because I have
come and
50
talk to them.
children
I'd
as
love
of
to
now.
do that.
Who are finishing education, so.
Where
Just-
is the slum? What's
This is
the-
in Kalkaji.
Okay, no problem.
In fact, some volunteers from Orkids come to help
Uh-huh.
us. Yeah.
And these
So
are
I'll-
children how old?
Yeah, like some of them are already in the 9th and 10th and 12th, so that's why. We have
Delighted
from
to
grade
help.
4 to grade 12. Yeah. Thank
Just
you.
let me know, and
Thank you.
one of us will give it.
My question is to, if I can start,
Yes.
yeah, to Dr. Amit Sen and Geet ma'am. I realized my son has few problems, went to different doctors, like Dr. Amit Sen said, people do that. But every time we were open with what the last report said. Unfortunately, after 5-6 visits, we realized somebody calls him ADHD, somebody calls him Asperger, somebody calls him autism, somebody says just stunted growth, another. So there, finally, we went to a place where people said we're not interested in labels. We know what we want to do with him, what we need to do with him. So he's going there for 7 years. He's 14 now, doing fairly well. He'll move to class 9 next year. My question is how important is it to really have a label for the education system? That's what my question is.
Right. So that's a complex question, and I
And the
think
people
the
that he
jury
goes-
is still
Yeah.
out there, to discuss and debate how important labeling is. From a professional point of view, perhaps even from an education point of view, if you have a good assessment, and maybe even a label, it kickstarts the process. It gives you a direction, perhaps, right? It might give other stakeholders, associated professionals, some pegs and say, okay, so if this child has, like Nandini was saying, a specific kind of dyslexia, then this is how we need to proceed. So for that, I think the assessment is important, right? But from a much broader point of view, to answer your question, I think what you faced and your child faced is the malaise or the kind of negativity that we have in the system. And you all have gathered here to challenge that, haven't you? So
No,
that,
no, no,
if
no.
a child has ADHD, you don't need to feel ashamed of it, or other kids who should be sensitive. Yeah, sorry?
No, no,
That's not your question.
No, my question, let me frame
Sure,
it
sure,
once
sure. Yeah.
again. After 4-5 visits to different doctors, either he's autistic or ADD or ADHD or Asperger, I don't know. For last 7 years, he's going for therapies and he's doing wonderfully well. I have blind faith on the therapist he is going to because he is performing.
Excellent. In that case, the label is not important.
So label is not important, and this is the sentence I got from the first therapist who I felt very comfortable with. Abhilasha, forget, I know what I need to do with the child.
Okay.
And he's doing well. So I have blind faith and he will continue going there till he wants to go or is needed to go. My question is, he will move to class 9. There are, CBSE has certain rules,
Right.
which school currently is already giving him half an hour extra. They are giving him a scribe, but I still don't have a label. He's in class 8 and will move
Sure.
to 9 in April.
So, see, again, over here, this is another utility of having a label, perhaps. Like you said, in the education system and CBSE, you can get some accommodations, you get some allowances, you get support in the system, isn't it? And for that, any one of these 3 labels that you talked about will work. So it's not important which one you have.
Okay.
So again, it breaks it down into the particular disability. So if a child with Asperger's, let's say, also has attention difficulties and problems with writing, they will get extra time and a
sensory
scribe.
problems.
Sorry?
Sensory problems, some.
Sure. So, there are certain things which, CBSE may not understand at all, the sensory problems, but the others, they will. So they have over the years become much more inclusive. Till recently, when if the child did not have the specific label of dyslexia, many of the, officers or clerks of CBSE would throw it out and say, "Isme to dyslexia likha nahi hai." But now they've understood it's not dyslexia, ADHD or other kinds of disabilities, even autism has now got included, in the lexicon. And so these systems are working better and it's improving day by day. So sensory integration difficulties have not yet, I don't think, has got included. So again, you perhaps would want to go to a place where you get a certificate to take to CBSE and get your accommodations, as you think it would be right, yeah?
Thank you.
Let me just also
Okay.
look, at the end of the day, two reasons why I've told all my parents over years why I want. I'm not a fan of labeling at all, not even formal assessment, all right? But from a point of view of special education, if I know where the breakdown point is in the skill cascade of the child, I know where to start working. Okay, if a child A comes to me and child A has a disability specified as dyslexia, and another child has borderline MR, there is a difference in my expectation from the child. So only that. We are not going to make a big deal about labeling, but it just really helps me, and I don't waste the first few crucial months trying to figure out where the child is, kahan tak push karun, kahan tak push nahi karun. One. Next is like Dr. Sen said, और मैं आसानी शब्द में बताती हूँ, गधे को बाप बनाना है, ठीक है? हमारे को CBSE से काम है. CBSE आपको क्या कहते हैं accommodations तभी देगा when you fit the bill. Okay, आपको जाना पड़ेगा वहाँ पे कि लेके certified RCI professional से करा हुआ provisional what's it called, an assessment कि my child has one of those 18, I think now there are 19 disabilities. In fact, right now even ADHD doesn't work. Only specific learning disabilities work. All right, so please be a little smart person here when you go and get this thing done, because what is the aim for this? Our aim is to get our specified accommodations. वो आपको मिलेंगी. Just know the system, be aware and go. This has got nothing to do with label, in the true sense of the word. हमारे को सिर्फ अपना काम निकलवाना है और आज की तारीख में काम ऐसे निकलेगा. ठीक है? Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
This is exactly what I was saying. As parents, आप लोगों को, you're the path breakers. Because ये जो act है जिसमें 19 disabilities हैं, जिसमें learning disabilities include हुई हैं, ये तो अभी दिसंबर में पास हुआ है. अभी तो इसके rules बनने हैं. इसमें अभी तक कुछ काम नहीं हुआ है. CBSE को कुछ पता नहीं है कि वो क्या होगा उसके साथ में. आई रिमेंबर जब मेरी बरुआ ऑटिज्म के लिए DDA से लैंड लेने गई थी, तो अभी तक उसके पास एक लेटर है जिसमें DDA ने लिख कर दिया कि वी कांट गिव लैंड फॉर ऑटिज्म बिकॉज इट्स अ फॉरेन डिजीज. सो आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन टू यू कि अब आप लोग उस फॉरेन डिजीज कैटेगरी में हैं, बिकॉज लर्निंग डिसेबिलिटीज़ की उनको कुछ समझ नहीं है. दे हैव नॉट बीन आस्क्ड टू डील विद इट. So you will have to educate them to deal with it.
Ma'am, in this same edition, I'd like to ask one more question.
चल.
Okay. So my child is in 8th standard and is moving to 9th, and is one of the good schools which follow ICSE board. So the dilemma is between a CBSE and ICSE IB board. So is there something for a child who's ADHD, facing? So any special thing when he can opt for a CBSE or ICSE? Is that something? I'm really confused. The CBSE is easier board. People say that your child can do really good in that academically and for future growth. ICSE is much better. So for a ADHD child, which board is better to go with?
Look, both the boards have their pros and cons. Both of them. Their ideology is different. You have to look at from the perspective of your child's strengths. What is it that he can do? What is it that he cannot do? Even the accommodations, so to speak, are different. The most glaring different accommodation is ICSE does not let you drop math. CBSE lets you.
They will, means 8.
ICSE में नहीं करने देते हैं आपको. ICSE में आपको मैथ्स के लिए कैलकुलेटर यूज करने देते हैं. CBSE में नहीं यूज करने देते हैं.
No, so checked with the school premises. Yeah, so 8th, after 8th you can drop maths. 9th, Yeah.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
Yes,
Okay.
that we had a conversation on the phone as well.
Okay,
So
okay.
he's been having a challenge in math subject, so which I'm sure in 9th standard he's have that option to skip maths and he can change with home science or whatever. But my question is something like a CBSE or ICSE board, it really reflect the, you know, the career of a child in future?
Career?
Like,
Sorry, I'm sorry I didn't get that answer. Sorry, that was perfect.
so it's a good advice to change from ICSE to CBSE?
Don't change anything unless you have to. You know, that's the number one principle. Number two is, it really doesn't matter whether it's CBSE, ICSE, IB, or even National Open School, for that matter. In fact, National Open School offers the maximum flexibility. You take an exam only when you're ready for it. And when it comes to admissions to college, it just doesn't matter.
And the burden of the course or curriculum?
It's the least in National Open School. Least. You know, because you can take as many light subjects as possible. Even within CBSE, you have this option of taking very, very light subjects which do not require academic rigor. So, you know, home science le lo, sports le lo, art le lo, things like that. And that informatics practice le lo, you know, instead of those heavy types of subjects.
So what are the resumptions we can get from 9th onward? Because till 8th they have a special educator, they have everything. From 9th they don't have any special, you know, for a special need child they have a special teacher or something.
They don't have that in your school?
I have talked to a couple of counselors in the same school. So he said 9th is the similar, only the exemption of the subjects you can do, like maths and science and extra time.
So अगर exemption मिल जाता
But
है
not
तो
in the syllabus. The matter, if there are 10 chapters are coming, so it is for any child, it's 10 chapters. There's nothing less or nothing more. Means the child has to attempt it.
No?
We don't have modified curriculums. This is one of the things we've been fighting. See, we don't have modified curriculums. This is one of the things we've been fighting for. We've been having a lot of meetings with NCRT. We tried in the planning commission to get a budgetary allocation. I was in the subcommittee. अभी तक कुछ नहीं हुआ है. तो modified curriculums नहीं होने की वजह से जो curriculum है वो हर बच्चे को करना पड़ता है. And that's actually wrong. That's one of the things that needs to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adaptive curriculums have to be looked at.
Yeah, this is the last question, guys. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Ma'am, I'm sorry I don't have a question. Just want to introduce myself. Myself, Sanchita Srivastav. I'm suffering from cerebral palsy, but I just want to tell everyone that I'm working as a counseling lecturer in government school, and I've done my graduation from LSR. I did my post-graduation from MA in South Campus from MA Psychology. I did my counseling diploma from NCRT.
Fantastic.
So just want to tell every parents that they should have the courage to bring their child up and be positive, and your child can do wonders.
Yes, thank you. Anji ma'am, the last question. Okay. Pucho ji.
I just also want to share the same story. Ronak did not get any extra time or anything for the exams. I did not demand for it. He did a normal child examination. During his board examination, he had something like chicken pox. During that also he gave the exams, but he did not take any extra time or did not disclose that he had ADHD. He did a normal exam and he successfully passed. He got, I think, 78%. So I think there is, if you can, there is no need for an extra time. You can do it normally also. So that is up to you, what you have to decide.
Ma'am, thank you, Rosie.
This is a question to Geet ma'am and Parveen ma'am. Since you've been in this field since long, have you seen any children who have with borderline MR cases who have made a career out of themselves? Like, have you come across what professions do they get into, and what are their what are their options?
I think building on their strengths, yes, I have. At least 5 or 6 cases that have come to me, I have. You know, depending on where their aptitude lies, and sometimes you have to be creative also. You know, it doesn't always, a career doesn't mean going and working in somebody's office. If your husband or you are in some kind of profession and you can assist him, nothing like it. If you have someone in the family who, whom he could assist, nothing like it. So, you need to figure out things on a case-to-case basis, but absolutely.
Right, right.
So, just to add to that, the professions that you will choose for any person with whatever IQ or abilities they have will depend on their profile, isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
But you must also be aware that when you say MR, it actually means that in a certain kind of testing, the child has not performed up to par at that point, right? That is not a static thing. It's dynamic. They keep changing.
Right.
Year after year, the kind of inputs you give. So like Nandini here was saying, the brain is plastic, and you could help the child to develop skills in various ways, particularly if the child is interested in that. So if you talk about borderline MR, many kids who have ADHD or autism, or particularly these two categories, who are exceptionally bright, when they score on these tests, they actually come out to be borderline MR. It doesn't mean anything in my mind.